All right. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Eric, I'm very well, Erica. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for coming this morning. I know it's about 9 a.m. your time. I wish to thank you for taking this up and taking time out for this. Let me
Absolutely.
introduce myself and then I will introduce. So we got attendees as well. Uh, All right, they all can see us now. Hi, guys. If you have any questions, Erica is there to answer, and even I can answer some of the questions perhaps. So I'll introduce myself first. My name is Amit Kaushal, and I'm a co-founder of Inalito. Inalito is basically a AI ML based software company. We help e-commerce companies, anybody who is selling online, uh, solve a lot of problems for you guys. For example, we solve your analytics problems. If you want to understand which customers you're losing, we can help you identify those customers. If you want to retain your customers, we can help you retain your customers. If you want to have a growth strategy, we can help you put a growth strategy for you. And we have a Shopify app, a Magento app, a WooCommerce app, which just gets installed onto your e-commerce platform, and you can do your marketing through our app. Email marketing, web push notification, SMS notifications, all of that can be done through Inalito. You can have really uh, deep segments of your products and customers. Some fabulous customer segmentation and product segmentations can be understood from Inalito. And we can also take care of your on-site personalization. If people are coming on your website, you really want to sell them what they really want to buy. You don't want to sell them garbage. So we take care of a personalization as well. That's me and my company, Erica. I would like to understand from you, what do you do, and uh, how is the business so far, and, and what's your why? Why are you doing what you're doing?
Absolutely. So I am the CEO and founder of the ULA Company. We're based here in Seattle. So we're a sustainable company that focuses on cultural inclusivity with trans-seasonal garments. So we create women's wear. The silhouettes are based on American sportswear silhouettes from the 60s and 70s. And we use primarily Ankara, which is African wax fabric that we source globally. So we source from all over the African continent, as well as India and Europe, and everything is made here in Seattle. So we are truly global in that sense, and we launched in the spring of 2015. So that's what we do. Before I started the ULA company, I worked as a contemporary art curator, and I was the assistant dean of the School of Art and Design at the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York.
Excellent, excellent. So you have the education with you, you have the atmosphere with you, you are in the Amazon land. Amazon started with from Seattle, and that's where the headquarter is. Uh,
Yeah, it's an interesting story because I was in New York for 20 years and we moved to Seattle 8 years ago for my husband's work, and he works in finance. So I left my position at FIT thinking that I would just, continue with academic administration in the area of art and design. My PhD is actually in cinema studies and new media studies. But at FIT, it ran the gamut. Fashion was the signature, but I also was able to work and head up the departments in 17 departments. So everything from visual presentation and exhibition design, photography, graphic design, um, women's wear, jewelry design, computer animation. I mean, you name it, I did it. So I had a breadth and depth of knowledge in the art and design world, working on both ends. And I also worked as a television correspondent for a long time as well. I left that out earlier for Oxygen Media in the early days. So like covering Fashion Week, covering art and design in general. So when I came to Seattle, I really enjoyed working with students. I felt like I come full circle in working in curriculum and instruction. And it was a local venture capitalist who read a piece about me in Seattle Magazine, and she encouraged me to become an entrepreneur and to start my own company, because that's what people do in Seattle. Like almost everybody here has some type of like side hustle, side gig, as an entrepreneur. And I have to say, it's been a great experience for me, totally unexpected. I do not think that I would have started a business had I stayed in New York. But, you know, coming to Seattle, everybody took my call. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. My husband is West African. When I was married, I began wearing a lot of African fabric, but usually for like special occasions. But what the Ankara really reminded me of is of my experience growing up in the US. The Black is Beautiful movement from the 70s and the late 60s, and my mother wearing beautiful caftans made with Ankara fabric, beautiful tunics and pants. And I said, you know, there's a space for that. And I saw it happening in homewares. People were becoming more interested in more dynamic, colorful, impactful designs. And I said, you know, this is going to happen in women's wear. And I knew that if I could create an easy garment that took you from like dropping off your kids at work to your job to the evening to beach wear, I just trusted my gut. Intuitively, I knew it would work. And we started with pop-ups. And then I would go and do a pop-up and we would sell out. And then I launched my website. And then we just took it from there. And then of course, COVID happened, which has changed the growth of my business exponentially in the past 4 months.
Excellent, excellent. Great stories there. So you are one person who has experience of photography to digital marketing to content to coming out on shows like this and doing a fabulous job. You are like one pack which has everything in it. There's
Yeah,
no doubt.
a Jane of all trades, you know, but it's interesting at the beginning of my career. And I see a lot of, you know, young people who are really, they're Jack and Jane of all trades. They have a breadth and depth of experience, and they have a dexterity with a variety of art and design applications. So, you know, when I was finishing undergrad in the mid 90s, you know, everything was about specialization. But right now, it's about you being able to do a little bit of everything. So I feel that, you know, intuitively who I am and what I do has met the moment in a really nice spot.
Excellent. There's no doubt your business is flourishing because you are the one who is the value, who are the one who is driving it. And you said something about your gut. I think one very important thing in our businesses is that you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe in your gut.
Yeah.
If you do not believe in what you are doing, you will not be able to tap full potential. And if you don't tap full potential, you don't get good results. And then you again come back to belief. So it's all about beliefs. If you have strong beliefs, you tap the potential, you got good results. So it's like a circle which
It's like
starts
a
with.
circle. Yeah, and it builds resilience. I mean, I always trust my gut. Let me just say one thing. Clothing production is very different from being like a fashion person. I have a huge collection of vintage from the 60s, 70s, 80s. Wearing clothes is one thing, but I understood the structure and the knowledge of what it meant to have a great garment. So that helped me be a really good fashion designer. I know what works well. I know what women want. But trusting your gut is something that's really important. And that's what really happened with, you know, when COVID happened. I just trusted my gut that it was time to pivot. You know, I saw masks happening even before here in the US, the CDC said, you know, we need to be wearing masks. I saw it happening in other places. And friends and family began asking me for masks. So I said, you know, let's just pivot. Let's just do this. I was small enough to do it. I worked with master sewers locally. So we just stopped making dresses, and all of the textiles that we sourced for our dresses, we moved immediately to masks. And then we would find, you know, interesting ways to solve problems. At the beginning, you could really not find, you know, the elastic for the ear straps for the masks. So we actually started making them. They're hand woven and hand sewn. So our masks are, you know, 2-ply with a pocket if you have an N95. If you don't, it's just like 2 pieces of material for, you know, even more coverage. And then we have this hand sewn ear mask. So you just pop it in the washer and dryer and it comes out. This was mid-March, and I'll never forget it. I'd posted like 50 online that we made. That was a Friday night. I woke up Monday morning and we were all sold out. That's weird. Why did we sell out? I just like sent it to my friends on Facebook. So I said, let me, something weird is happening. We've never sold out like overnight. So then I Googled the ULA company and face masks. And then I found that GQ magazine and Maxim magazine had printed an article on us. And like, I'm sure that every company who was an early adopter of masks just got an influx of business. I mean, I could barely keep up. I mean, it took me about 2 months to really get to scale. And, you know, I would explain, this is a pre-order. All our masks are made to order. We are working as fast as we can to get, you know, your much needed mask to you. And ever since then, we've been working 18+ hour days with business from all over the United States, like from every state. That's been fun and amazing. And so, you know, we've gotten new customers. And, you know, before I thought we were like the women's wear customer. It was like entry-level luxury customer. And then that customer has, you know, really changed. It's like grandmas and grandpas and aunties and, you know, millennials, even some kids. You know, a woman said, you know, my kid can wear it if you just double the strap twice. So our customer has changed, and people feel like they know me because we're such a small company. So I would get all these emails asking me about masks and, you know, having to deal with customer service. That's been really, really important as well. Being responsive to customers. If something doesn't fit them, if a mask is too big or small, sending out another mask immediately. So I think, and I've always thought, working in art and design is customer service oriented, right? We're creating products for customers. And right now they want masks. I can tell you that, and they'll continue wanting masks until COVID is over. And I think masks have just become a part of, you know, our wardrobe, you know, around the world. And secondly, if they want to treat themselves to something pretty or something nice, they don't want to spend a lot of money, but they want to spend something great. So I did a work from home sale on our website, all of our back stock, you know, old things that I had, 1 or 2 pieces. I put them online, they sell out immediately, you know, and these aren't, and we couldn't at that point do photo shoots, right? So we started doing like FaceTime photo shoots, you know, but people like the authenticity of that, you know, here I am pulling back stock in a grainy photo, sell it to you for like $50 or $100. People love that. And so it's changed my relationship with my customer, which has been awesome.
Excellent, excellent story, Erica. What you're trying to tell you is, so for our audience and viewers, this is
Yeah.
what she's saying, guys. Guys, she's saying that you got to pivot. Okay, you got to, if you can't be stuck to what you're doing, you got to act fast and move fast. Okay, this is first learning. Second learning is you must take massive action. You, no matter how much knowledge you have, if you don't take action, knowledge is of no value. Action and execution will always trump knowledge every day of the week. Second thing we learned. Third is it's very important to basically add value to your customer. If your customer is not happy, what can you do to make your customer a fan, not just a customer? You convert your customer into a client who stays longer, and then a client into a fan. So this, you can convert your customers into fans by taking massive action by adding value to your products and services. So in case of Erica, if her customers are not happy, if they are finding the masks are too loose or too big, she is immediately coming back and giving them a replacement in no time, so as to add value and so as to make her customers her fans. This is fabulous. Massive
Yeah.
action and making customers from fan and pivoting and taking action fast. Excellent. Now, Erica, you mentioned about you got a lot of new customers in the last few months, and a lot of them are also buying masks, and masks was never your primary item to be sold on your store. Now,
Yeah.
what is your plan and strategy to retain these customers? How do you plan to bring them back to buy your fabulous dresses?
Right. So at this point, it's about growth, and it's about conversion. And it's also about inviting those customers back. So I start at the point of when they receive the package. I mean, the mask in these COVID times, I'm like, I want to send them a beautiful package that they open up. They open up a beautiful package. In it is a postcard that tells the story of the ULA company, 20% off your next purchase, as well as, you know, another beautiful postcard of like a model. It's just like a box of like Black joy, you know, when you get it and you open it. And people have responded to that. They started posting that on Instagram. On the postcard, I would just write quickly on the back. And I'm talking hundreds of orders, thousands, because we've sold over 4,000 masks to date. Thank you, XO Erica. My husband's like, why are you doing this? Thank you. I said, no, for me, it's about that personal touch. It's really important, like a personal touch. Maybe it's my like Southern manners, but I just knew that that's what I want to say. Thank you for supporting me through this time. You had a lot of choices. You chose the ULA company. People started posting that note online on Instagram. So you have credibility. You have a sincerity, and then it's word of mouth. Then they start telling their friends, and their friends start telling their friends, and their friends start telling their friends. And literally that's how we've been able to grow the company. So they've become more than customers, they've become brand ambassadors. And they want you to succeed. And when the Black Lives Matter movement happened, we received even more of a lift because those values were already embedded into everything that we did. You know, I remember Vogue magazine and Women's Wear Daily were trying to figure out, well, what's the next move for fashion? And now they're following what a lot of smaller companies have been doing for, you know, decades now. Focus on sustainability, focus on trans-seasonal pieces, focus on made to order, focus on cultural inclusivity. But the companies who already had that, you know, the companies that were already focusing on those pieces have really risen to the top. You know, it's not like we were rewriting our narratives. This is who we were authentically. And I think customers trust that, and they know that. So that's been really great as well. I mean, it's just been transformational for me. I cannot tell you. I mean, we went from, I think when I checked my Shopify, it was like 157% growth. Can you even imagine? And these are people from everywhere. So we follow up with them with emails, but we mainly focus on our social media. I mean, we're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. The majority of our customers still come from Facebook. I'm thinking about, you know, moving into TikTok because it's more video oriented, even though there's lots of like, you know, issues around TikTok now. I enjoy it because it's fun, it's light, it's brief, and people want happiness. And it also fits into our joy character. And I'm also needing to become more comfortable with being the face of my company. Like, you know, having a conversation with you. I really enjoyed like playing, you know, the background for a long time, but now people really want to hear from me. Anytime we post a video with me, you know, I get lots of queries, lots of questions. So what it means to be a CEO and founder, I feel in the past 3 years, maybe 5 years, even with social media, it's changed dramatically, you know, and once COVID calms down and settles down, I have the resources now to grow my team. So it's not all on me.
Excellent. Excellent, guys. So I want to understand from you, Erica. So you are talking a lot of sense. You're going back to the old methods of writing postcards and connecting with people, and it's not only sending them and talking on virtual platforms like Facebooks and LinkedIn's of the world. You're talking about connecting with people, connecting with your customers. So that's a very good takeaway for our viewers today. Connection is very important. You can go back to the orthodox methods of writing postcards, and that's what will matter, because somebody has taken pains to connect with you personally, has spent time to write a handwritten postcard to you. That makes a lot of difference. Yes, that brings in credibility and that shows the sincerity, and you are making your customers your brand ambassador. That's a big statement. I mean, who would not want their customers to become their brand ambassador? If I can ask you, Erica, what subjects did you do in your PhD?
Oh yeah, so my PhD was in cinema and new media. So I attended University of Chicago. I have a BA in history, a master's in social science. And it was in college in Chicago that I became really interested in media. Of course, before that in high school, I attended a performance art high school. So I've been an art and design person. Like I've known this since I was like 5. I'm one of those people who are like, oh, I'm an artist. This is like who I am. Even if I wasn't practicing, you know, a particular area of concentration, I was supporting artists as a curator. So when I went to the University of Chicago, I really thought I wanted to be a playwright. You know, I really enjoyed writing, and I discovered film and video, and I took a lot of film and video classes. And then I began curating film and video programs. I didn't even know it could be a career. Like I could trend. It was just fun for me, you know. And I was also a projectionist, so I would project, you know, films, and I would, you know, curate programs. And this was 1994, and I was recruited to attend the cinema studies program at New York University. And of course, I'd always wanted to be in New York since I was like 5 years old. The goal was to get to New York. And during that time, a lot was happening in independent African-American cinema and experimental cinema. And my first job was as a curator, an assistant curator of film and video at the Museum of the Moving Image. So I've always been one of those people who burned a candle at both ends. I would work 9 to 5, and then I would go to my PhD classes from 6 to 10. And then when I had papers, I would just stay up all night and write them. You know, when you're young, you can do that. So I did that for.
When you were young, I mean, you just said 1994. I thought you're 30 years old.
Oh, no, no. Good genes, but I'm not. People think that there's a shortcut, right? I know I'm younger than I look, but there's no shortcut. There's only like hard work and intention if you want to realize your full potential. I mean, this was the right time for me to start ULA because I've always been a sponge, but I have all this knowledge. And I'm very clear on the company, what I want it to stand for, what I want it to look like. I mean, even when we do our photo shoots, I style and design the models. I'm very clear about what it is. So it's fluid to me, you know, but that's only because I've been like, you know, looking at art and film and new media and music for like the past 25 years, right? It's cumulative. So all of that cinematic, creating a sense of mise-en-scène, creating a sense of what the environment is for ULA, that just comes like super naturally to me. And I love it. Like, I can't tell you how much I love it. So it took me a long time even to call myself like a designer and artist. Before I was like, oh, I'm an academic and a curator. And I've only become comfortable with it because one of my friends, we were at a dinner party. She introduced me and she's like, what does Erica do? And then she looked at me. She's like, Erica is an artist. And I mean, really, it's for the first time, I think, in my life that I fully like own that. So even more so than I am like an entrepreneur, an educator, a curator, I think that I'm an artist, which means that I'm not afraid of risks. I'm always taking risks. I trust my gut, and I'm phenomenally creative. I mean, those are great. Those are all the things that you need to be a great entrepreneur, you know? And I don't care so much about money. I know that sounds crazy, but money has never driven any of my choices in my career. That's been difficult. That's been hard, you know, living on the edge as a creative, working in nonprofits, that's been difficult. But at the same time, I was able to take risks in my career, pivot really quickly when I needed to. And so it fed me in a different way. I mean, when I started the ULA company, I didn't even write a business plan. I curated a huge show. I had a chunk of money, and I said, you know what, I'm going to invest in myself, and I'm going to invest in my vision. And my husband, who's a finance person, finance geek, he thought it was crazy. Like, how do you not write a business plan? And I'm just like, I know what to do. I know what to do and how to make it work. And literally, I just did it. It was the best thing that I've ever done, because in this time in Seattle, I didn't think we'd be here this long. I've grown exponentially. Like, if I were to path my career, the most growth for me personally has been with the ULA company in the past 5 years.
Excellent. Excellent. Great learnings from you. So, when you said that you don't look at money so much and you are following your passion, you're investing in yourself,
Yeah,
those are great things which entrepreneurs should learn from you. I think a lot of entrepreneurs are running after money and at the wrong targets, without believing in themselves, without believing in them, and without investing in themselves. Those
yeah.
are some great learnings, Erica. Now tell me something about, you use Shopify for your store. What apps on Shopify do you use, and how do they help you?
So the app, we don't use very many apps on Shopify. So I'll just talk about my store. We went through Shopify, which I've become like a pro at, but my website was created by local designers here in Seattle who really understood the mood of what I was trying to create. So really like the only apps we use are for our slideshow that you see at the beginning, and for the masthead when you come. We need to start using more apps, and that's what, now I said I didn't care about money, but I'm beginning to care. Now I have like, a bookkeeper and an accountant because I just can't do it all on my own. And it's funny, once you see the growth happening monetarily, it is somewhat addictive. Once you see the numbers piling up, then you get super excited, like, oh, I can do this. I can push through to the other side. So that's what we're focusing on now. Like, what apps do we need to use efficiently that are easy to use? I mean, we are moving so fast in this business. My day is so fast. I really don't have time to learn up on a whole bunch of things. So right now, it's beginning for me to like begin research, to hire a technology partner, who can like really tell me what to do. I mean, this is the first time I've ever even used advertising, if you can imagine. I had no advertising. Every advertising publicity piece that we got before July 15th was organic, word of mouth. Our television ads, magazine spots, social media spots. But then I realized, oh, that influences growth, and people are coming to the website. And me being a cinema person, I want to make the website more of a destination. I mean, my area of concentration as a curator was about, creating an environment, creating something that people could feel emotionally attached to. So my next step is to like focus more on AI, which I've worked in as a curator, and really make the ULA company more of a destination, since we can't be together for who knows how long. So that's really what I'm focusing on, using what I've learned in my background in cinema and new media, and being able to apply that to ULA to create a really, immersive environment online.
Excellent. We would, since you have taken this time out to come on this session, on this talk with us, we will give you a plugin of Ronaldo for 15 days complimentary. Use it. We can replace at least 10 apps on Shopify. We can
Mhm.
take digital marketing, your customer segmentation, your personalization of your customers, your analytics, everything in one app in Alto,
Yeah,
and it's on Shopify store. So
yeah.
maybe we will let you know how to use it, and I'm sure you will find value in it.
That would be great. I mean, that's another thing with being an entrepreneur. There's always something new to learn. I mean, it's the hardest job I've ever had. I will tell anybody. It was so much easier being a dean. So much easier being a curator sitting behind a desk. And that's just not the lifestyle, I think, of being an entrepreneur in this day and age. And it's changing all the time. And technology is changing all the time. And what customers want is changing all the time. So it's really about being super responsive. And to do that, you have to be present in the time that you live in. And I think that that's really what's led to the growth of ULA so far.
No, so what you're saying is making sense. So it's like, although it was easy for you to sit behind a desk and being a dean, but you know what? If you think now that, suppose we are about to close our eyes, let's say in about 50 years or so, and we ask ourselves, hey, did I tap my potential? Did I live a fulfilled life? Uh,
Yeah.
I'm sure if you were a dean, your answer would have been no. But now you can come, you can with
Yes.
you can give an emphatic yes. Yes, I tapped my potential. I had a fulfilled life. I was able to do things when I wanted to do them. I was free. I had a freedom to do things the way I wanted to do them, whenever I want to do them. That freedom is nothing but success. The freedom to do whatever, whenever, in your own style, in your own way, is called success. And when you go back to that day, that's very important.
Yeah, I tell my friends all the time, they're like, Erica, why do you take so many risks? And I said, because, when I'm older and my grandchildren are surrounding me, I don't want to ask myself, what if? What if I would have done that? What if I would have taken that chance? I just want to like live, live, live. Particularly in these times, tomorrow is not promised. The moment, is now. But within that, also trying to create balance. Has really been great to create a legacy. I have a 9-year-old daughter, and she sees me, balancing being a mom and a wife and a business and working out of my home studio. I mean, my husband's trying to kick me out of it now because I've outgrown it, but I mean, this is what works for my lifestyle at this moment,
Excellent.
and
Excellent.
I've been able to make it work. So you need to really understand, for any entrepreneur, what works best for your lifestyle at this particular moment in time in your life.
Interesting. Excellent. Excellent, Erica. Erica, before we got 5 more minutes to go. Before we shut this down, I wanna ask something from you. A lot of people will be watching this interview of yours, and what what two things would you give them as an entrepreneur? What should they do to become successful? What should they do? What can be their takeaway from this discussion, and they can use it tomorrow in their business, in their lives?
Yeah, so what I do every day is I have a running list. I never finish the list. But I have a list, and you have to at least give yourself an hour a day to get through some of the things on the list. I mean, you'll never finish it, but to keep a running list, give yourself an hour to do the really hard things. Get that over with at the beginning of the day, because by the end of that day, there are going to be a whole bunch of other hard things that you don't want to have to do or deal with. So that's my best advice. Like, do the hard stuff. If you have kids, do it before they get up. And then also to take care of yourself. I think a lot of people run themselves into the ground. I don't care what it is, if it's yoga, meditation, running, a hot bath, particularly in these times, self-care is so important. My yoga teacher told me something. She was like, every day, what is it? She was like, it's like, what is it? Carry water and lift wood, carry water. And I'm telling you, in April, when things were really, really in crisis mode, that's what I did every day. I woke up every day, made my daughter breakfast. I did yoga to clear my mind. And then I was like a whirling dervish for the rest of the day, putting together boxes, getting them to, I come home at 7, and then I do the same thing again the next day. But I had that yoga to ground me, and I had that time to do the really, really hard things. So that's the best advice that I can give, and work hard and then play hard. Give yourself breaks. I'm really bad at that. And I'm realizing now it's because I'm really in a space where I'm loving what I'm doing. So I feel guilty almost taking time out, but you do need sometimes 24 hours, 48 hours just to clear your mind. And, working in a fashion company, just for me to feel creative again, I need to clear my mind. And it usually only comes when I hit the wall, which is super bad. But whatever, I hit the wall, and I try not to be too hard on myself because I know that I'm giving 250%.
Excellent, excellent. So, guys, very important to condition your mind and condition your body. Please do not push yourself to the wall and break down and fall. Uh, Keep replenishing yourself, your mind and body, exercising, reading a book, spending time with your kids, with your family cannot be understated, cannot be underrated. You must do that. Business is just one part of your life, it's not your life. Your life has a lot of other things, a lot of other tangents, a lot of the vantage points. We must cater to all the needs of ourselves. Um, those are some of our takeaways. I think that's a fantastic interview with you, Erica. And I wish you a fantastic journey ahead. And I can't thank you enough for sharing such honestly your secrets and about your life, about your business, and giving such beautiful advices to our folks who are listening to us. Thank you so much, Erika. Thank you very much once again, and God bless you. And I wish you more business and more power to you.
Thank you so much, Amit. I appreciate it. This was fun.
Yes, absolutely. Take care of yourself.
Take care.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye. Bye.